A storm is coming. The crew is back, louder, looser, and live. Gear talk, hot takes, chaos, and you in the chat. This is your Thursday night escape. This is ThunderWheel TV.
What is up, YouTube land? Did you guys like that intro? I think the only one that has seen that so far is maybe Walsh. Welcome to ThunderWheel TV, episode 1. The only YouTube live chat where thinking is encouraged and knee-jerk comments get laughed at. So I don't know I know for sure Cody and Joe are not joining me tonight. Walsh might. But it's just us. So one of the things that we are going to talk a little bit about, Crook says, okay, the fake Steve Blum was creepy. I am not a tech savvy kind of person. That took me like probably 3 evenings to put that together. And I think I'm going to spend like $15 on Fiverr and have someone build me something that's a little bit better. But one of the things that Walsh and I were talking about, and something that I've been kind of playing around with a lot, is because this is a new YouTube channel. I mean, we basically rebranded our live chat as ThunderWheel TV. So Walsh is going to be, it's going to be Walsh from Thin Line Defense. I'm going to try to be better about getting guests on for the Everyman's Arsenal podcast. And so it'll be, Jason from Everyman's Arsenal podcast is hosting ThunderWheel TV. Sometimes Walsh will be a guest. Sometimes he won't. There's some other people I was asking about trying to come on to be a guest tonight. Dan from Dynamic Principles is one that we love having on regularly, just because the guy is a great talker. He loves talking. And so it's easy for me asking questions and having someone that's willing to talk as much as he does. But he's working on their new belt. So I can't take him away from that. Walsh is messaging me. Let's see if he's joining or not. You probably forgot about it. Yeah, so that's us tonight. We do have the final for the actual ThunderWheel. I already forgot who it was. I got to look online. I know it was Jay Murph. I don't remember who the second person was. There we go. Oh, Mission 7 Tactical. That's right. Okay. Nate, what's going on, dude? Welcome. So for those that are unaware, YouTube gave us not a strike, but like a community guideline note violation or something like that, because they said we were handling guns live, and we weren't. We had the intro that we've ran for 220 plus weeks, never had an issue from YouTube, and all of a sudden 2 weeks ago they killed our live stream. And so yeah, we decided, okay, well, let's move the live chats away from our main channel. So if that were to ever happen again, we're not going to have strikes against the main channel, which is, it's Walsh's livelihood now. We don't want to ruin that. But it gives us a chance to kind of rebrand. So hopefully you guys, ThunderWheel TV kind of is because of you guys, because our viewers. So hopefully you like it. And I think it's going to be something that we're going to stay with probably forever. So this is episode 1. Welcome. And this channel is just going to be the live chat. Croak, thank you. Says extra important that this gets a like from everyone. We are also doing something new today. We are streaming. We're live on YouTube, ThunderWheel TV. We are live on the Thin Line Defense Co. Rumble channel. We're live Thin Line Defense Co. on X and Thin Line Defense Co. on Twitch. So we're live on all 4 platforms right now. So yeah, anything that you can do to help support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. We'd appreciate it. Now, what are we going to talk about? Well, we do have the giveaway that we're going to spin the wheel of. Again, J Murph and Mission 7 Tactical. I did not prep that. It's my bad. Walsh says he's going to be on. He sent me a message and said he's going to be on after he puts kids down. Dave's Brewing. What's up, dude? Says watching from Rumble. There was a comment earlier. I didn't think about this. Michael Farley said, just realized that since this is a different channel, we don't have our membership stuff. I want to see if, I wonder if there's emojis that we can give people for just being subscribers. I don't know enough about that to be able to answer it. Honestly, I guess I'll look into it though, because you're right. That's kind of not fair. And since the live chat on the TLD channel is no more, yeah, it's kind of like, I feel bad. I'm sorry. You know what's nice is my wheel of names from last time still has Jay Garrard and Mission 7 Tactical. So I just got to paste in J Murph, which I haven't seen him in a while. I've seen him on Discord a couple times, but I haven't seen him on the live chats for a while. So hopefully he's doing okay. Michael Farley's asking if we're going to give away Walsh's multicam pants. We should. Mr. Banana 12345, welcome. Says you got me on Twitch. Josh, appreciate it, buddy. The more the merrier. Twitch is kind of new for us. I don't know enough about it. I've used it before to watch some folks play games. There's a Deadpool I guess focus channel that I like watching. Ooh. So we had a notification from, I'm not going to, from a friend of the channel. This might be something that not a lot of people even know about. But a friend of the channel from somewhere outside the US sent us a message asking if the news has hit us here. And I've seen it on Twitter. I don't know if you guys follow on Twitter, but CNN posted that Israel made some strikes against Iran targeting nuclear sites. And according to them, the entire Iranian general staff and nuclear scientists are all eliminated. That is, I'm very curious what's going to happen on the world stage coming from that, especially with, there was a lot of flack that Joe Biden was getting because of the conflicts that were happening while he was president. This idea that Trump coming in was going to kind of cool world tensions. I get it. And us, we're huge fans of Agilite. I personally am a big supporter of Israel. I think that they're a country that should be able to defend themselves. So I see this as good news, but it is something that happened while on Trump's watch. Like it didn't really cool global tensions if Iranian general staff and nuclear scientists are getting wiped out. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen, where this is going to go. That's the breaking news that we got. I thought it was kind of funny too, that not funny, but that they decided to reach out to us and ask us TLD, like, hey, has this news broke over there yet? So I appreciate them reaching out to us. We love those guys. So good looking out. Josh is saying if Walsh isn't here in 15 minutes, legally, he has to give away his MC pants. Zach said this will never happen. If Walsh gives away his pants, then he has to do a video in his tidy whities. You can bring that up when he joins us. If he joins us, well, we're doing that. Let me see about sharing this. Got too many windows up now. Ooh. Okay. What do you guys think? J-Murph, Mission 7 Tactical. I don't even remember. This has been so long. Hey, Croak, thanks for chiming in on X. It's been so long. What are they going to win? Walsh has a pile of stuff at his house. And from what I remember, it's a bunch of DF Co accessories, and then whatever is in the pile. I'm going to say whatever is in the pile that Walsh points to. What'll probably happen is J-Murph or Mission 7 Tactical is going to get a picture and like, hey, pick something. I haven't seen Mission 7 Tactical in so long. He probably doesn't even know that he's still a member, like a paid member on YouTube. He probably has no idea he's even entered in this. I have his email, so I'll shoot him an email. But this is gonna be kind of fun when we email him and he's like, if he wins. Michael Farley says J-Murph better win because he beat me. That is true. That did happen. Yeah, so we'll give it a few more minutes and see if Walsh is going to join us or not before we go ahead and spin the wheel and pick the winner ourselves. So, what else is new? It's interesting, Joe not being here, like how much space, I guess I would say Joe fills when he's here. How much quiet space he fills when he's here. Kind of missing that. I was telling him like, don't worry about it. I can solo this, no problem. I'll be just fine. Now I'm like, what are we going to talk about, guys? So we'll give it, I'll say it till like 6:50 Pacific time, 8 more minutes. If Walsh isn't here, we're going to spin. Crook says Joe fills a lot of space. So he sent us a video in our group chat. He got, I don't know if he purposefully broke them or if he already had them. They were like paving stones that were already broken, or if he bought paving stones and then broke them himself. But he has a huge rock crawling for his RC rock crawlers. He built a course in his backyard. So Croak says Short Act is getting some momentum. Is that the removal of SBRs from the NFA? Zach Fett, I'm totally lost on the suppressor bill. If there's an update, that would be good for the 2A news. Yeah. This is Michael Farley. I think I heard that in anticipation of the HPA potentially passing, a number of anti-gun states are tightening restrictions on suppressors, but I might have misunderstood what was being talked about. I'll be honest. This is probably not the right thing to say before our live chat, but I've kind of been out of the news cycle from like Washington gun law and things like that. I haven't really followed what's been happening. Croak says, yeah, SBR done the same way the Hearing Protection Act was done in Congress. So I'm reading that as it says that the Hearing Protection Act passed the Byrd test, which I don't know what that is. But last I heard, Hearing Protection Act has passed the House and waiting to see if it'll pass the Senate. I haven't heard about anti-gun states tying up restrictions on suppressors. It wouldn't surprise me. And I'm kind of torn because I'm in one of those anti-gun states that would do that. So I'm kind of in a catch-22, right? I want to wait until the Hearing Protection Act passes. I don't have to worry about paying a tax stamp and and the crazy wait to get a suppressor. But if I wait too long, then the state of Washington is just going to pass their own bill and probably outlaw them altogether, and then I won't be able to buy one at all. So do I go? I want a 22 suppressor. Do I go now and just go buy the suppressor that I want and do the tax stamp and wait the month or 2 months that it might take for me to get my suppressor in hand? Or do I roll the dice and hope that I could purchase one in whatever gap occurs between the Hearing Protection Act passing and the state of Washington passing their bill? Now, the state of Washington, I don't know how many states do this, but they have, like, their session is over. Their legislative session is over. Now they could call an emergency session and bring everyone back in. But I think this year was a long session. So it went until like May 21st or something like that. So they basically try to get all of their bills for the year passed from January 1st to May 21st, something like that. And that's a long year that's a long session. Next year it's shortened, and I forgot what the dates are for the shortened session. So if it does if the Hearing Protection Act does pass, then in order for Washington State to pass its own state law, the governor would have to call an emergency session. You'd have to get everyone into Olympia to vote on, draft. There's probably already one drafted, but draft, vote on, and sign an anti-suppressor bill. I wouldn't put it past them. They could probably do it, but that is kind of a hill that they would have to climb. Croak says, so this is in response to the bird test. It's one way to get something thrown out of reconciliation. If it's not related to taxes or budget, Hearing Protection Act cleared that bar. Croak says, I'd say by now prices are going to go up more than the cost of a tax stamp. Yeah. Michael Farley says, I saw a few of shops online that are paying your tax stamp or discounting $200 to effectively pay for the stamp. Yeah. So the place that I typically deal with, because of the fees that the state has passed for FFLs here in Washington State, the transfer fee for suppressors, it's not $200, but it's like $60 between. There's basically two forms of background checks that you have to go through now. It's all run through NCIS, whatever, the NCIC. So it doesn't really make sense, but because there's more work on the FFL now, they probably rightfully so are passing that cost on to us because it's not their fault. So you're probably right. I probably should just go get a 22 suppressor. The other issue that I'm running into is finding a barrel. I have a Ruger 1022. I don't have a threaded barrel on it, which I cannot buy in the state of Washington, legally speaking. You can't buy a threaded barrel in the state of Washington. So I found, I don't know how good it would be, but I found this adapter I've had. It was like in a box of stuff that I've had forever that uses, I don't know what you call it, grub screws, I guess, to like mount this adapter to your Ruger 1022 barrel to turn it into a threaded barrel. I don't know if I trust that with a suppressor. I would be worried about damaging the suppressor. NICS, NICS. I don't know why I was thinking it is NCIC. Yeah, so you're probably right, Croak. I probably should just go and make the purchase now. I'll bite that bullet. All right. One more minute. Man, Walsh isn't here yet. Dr. Dingus, can you have a threaded barrel shipped to someone like D. Wilson for pin and weld? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Croak, I think you're right. He says are threaded barrels totally outlawed or just not allowed to be sold? You can always get a barrel turned. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know enough about the law to find out Look at this. Walsh is chiming in. I'll fix it so Zach has moderator. Good Lord, getting kids in bed. Hurry up. We're waiting on you to spin the wheel. Dr. Dinga says, unless you were wanting to go direct thread, I do have, I'll be honest, most of my suppressors are direct thread. I have two that use use some type of QD system. I don't know for a 1022, do they make a QD system? I've only ever seen something a direct thread suppressor for 22 caliber. But again, I mean, gosh, who knows how many suppressors are out in the world? I'm probably way off on that. Josh, yeah, Walsh, we're talking about your MC pants giveaway. I can't remod Zach. If I could, I'll just do it. So there are a couple places like I can't. I think the way the law was written includes the word import. So even if I were to take a barrel, which I have a regular 1022 barrel. If I were to find a gunsmith that would turn it and put, half by 28 threads on it, I don't think the way that I'm interpreting the law, at least, I don't think I could take it out of state because I can never bring it back into the state because of that word import. Like you can't import a threaded barrel. Dave's Brewing. What about an integrally suppressed barrel? Those are for sale. I would love to get one. The only ones that I've seen are kind of there's others, and the only ones I've seen at my local store is an integrally suppressed barrel for the 1022 Charger. So you would have to SBR it, which if this short act is going the way that we hope it does, that might not be an issue either. Like I could go buy that because I have a Ruger 1022 takedown. So they sell, the local gun store sells an integrally suppressed, like a 10-inch 1022 takedown barrel, whatever the length is that Ruger makes. Man, that would probably be the route that I'd want to go. Imagine that thing like a 10-inch barrel integrally suppressed. I wonder how quiet that would be. I do have some subsonic 22 ammo. Man, I bet you that'd be ridiculously quiet. That would be fun. The other thing that I have an old Marlin. I think it's a Model 81. It's a bolt action tube magazine 22 caliber bolt action with like a brass. I think it's a brass front sight. It's so old. I don't even know what year it is, but they don't have a serial number on it. So when I bought it at an estate sale, I bought like 3 or 4 guns at this estate sale, and it was the only one that I didn't have to do a paperwork for it because there was no serial number to put down on it. Who knows how many years ago this was now. This is like 15 years ago when we were in Idaho. It was old, but I love it. It's awesome. Croak says, hell, mod me. It'll save a lot of time. Michael Farley. Sorry, Croak. The only thing I could do is put you in timeout. Want me to do that? No, don't do that. Sorry. I got new glasses and I don't know what it is that causes them to like fog up. I decided to get prescription lenses for my Oakley gas can glasses, and I had them sitting on top of my head when I was eating lunch at a Subway. And I stood up, and they had these kind of low hanging lights over the table, and it clipped my brand new like prescription lenses. Now I have, when I wear the glasses, there's a scratch that's like right over my line of sight. My right eye sucks. All right. Well, Walsh is taking his sweet time. So I say we go ahead and give this a spin. Shuffle up. I do have the one blank. Is that mixed up enough, you think? Trying to get them so there's not like 5 in a row. That looks pretty good. All right, here we go. Can you guys hear the clicking? Hopefully you can hear the clicking. Yeah. So again, this is our ThunderWheel, as the fans called it. So the winner here gets the pick from a pile of goodies that Walsh has. And oh dude, that who do you think it's gonna be? You think it's gonna be that green Mission 7 tactical? It might be. If it goes no, it's J Murph. It's gotta be J Murph. Like there's 3 in a row right there. There you go, Michael Farley, got your wish. I got to message J Murph and say, tell him he won the ThunderWheel. Woo! Awesome, J Murph, and look at that. It was a Patreon, not even our YouTube membership. Awesome. Croak says it was rigged. Everyone says it was rigged, but it was. How else could we have done? We couldn't have done it better. That's the best way to do it. Michael Farley says, I mean, my wish was for me to win, but this is the next best thing. So you did not have to be present to win. Like most of our other giveaways that we do on the live chat, usually you have to be present. This one you don't. I joked with J Murph and I told him he's not on the live, so we're gonna give it to Farley. That's a joke. It's a joke. J Murph wins. He gets it. We got to connect him with Walsh. I forgot. There it is. Ghost Metal. I don't know why Walsh's name is Ghost Metal in our Discord. If you're not on our Discord, man, you should be. That place is awesome. And let's edit the invite link here. Put that link in here. So if you want to join our Discord, there's the link. Michael Farley, my win will come hopefully when the nods are being given away. Zach, dude, that's awesome. So I guess I didn't even realize. ThunderWheel TV is posting a link to the Thin Line Defense Co. Discord. I gotta try to keep all those in check, huh? Awesome. Well, congrats, J Murph. I know you're not here, but you know what? You're here in spirit. So we appreciate you. All right. Now, next is last week's video, or this past week's video. So, did you guys get a chance to watch Walsh's video on the new HRT placard? What are you guys' thoughts on it? I'm a fan of HRT. I have their Maximus placard, and I kind of like how it's just, it's you get what you get. The pouches that the HRT Maximus placard, I think it was a Maximus placard, that they provide. Like, why would you need anything else? There's no customization. You get 2 pouches. You get 2. You get like 2 general purpose pouches. You get 2 pistol mag pouches. You have an insert that you can put 3 AR mags. And I've always kind of thought, like, What else do you need? So the fact to see them come out with a modular, they had the modulus, but their new recon placard. Yeah, Croak says, I'm done with elastic inserts. I don't like, excuse me, I don't like elastic inserts either. But what I did is I'll take the elastic insert, and you could buy the S-Tac inserts, and I will put the S-Tac insert in my placard with the elastic insert around it, so the elastic ensures that the S-Tac doesn't go too far open, kind of keeps it closed. So I've had good luck using the elastic inserts with S-Tac inserts inside the elastic inserts. I've had a lot of good luck with that. Your favorite libertarian. In an unrelated note, beard's looking good, my friend. Thank you. I haven't shaved my neck in a while, though. I need to do that. Yeah, it's looking gray. I got some grays coming in though. So those 4 kids. Croak says, "Yeah, those get too squishy." Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that. What are you using then? Well, are you using placards at all? I'm trying to think if the Agilite one, right? The pincer placard. That seems like maybe the best of both worlds, because you have the flare to get magazines in and out. The elastic has enough retention on the magazines. I've had good luck with my pincer placard. Crook says Neckbeard Gonzalez has a nice ring to it. Yeah, Agilite pincer. Okay. Michael Farley, I like it. It's basic, but can be added to, expanded as needed. Not trying to be super fancy, which is just fine in my mind. Been getting entries every day on the giveaway HRT is doing for it. Nice. Yeah, I do like. Again, I've talked about this earlier. I'm a fan of the Agilite systems. I have an Agilite placard system. It doesn't really have much going on to it right now. It's just a pouch. I don't really like placard systems for firearm use. I like a placard system for my hikes, and usually on my hikes, I don't want stuff in my pocket. So having a chest rig is a great place for me to keep basic first aid stuff, my cell phone. If I'm recording something for a video, I might have my GoPro or might have my Osmo or some other camera system with me, microphones, things like that. Granola bars. That's what I use my chest rigs for, my placards. So Ghost Metal Walsh already commented in Discord saying J Murph will get a pick from the pile plus the Die Free Co goodies. Hey, what's up, man? He says, I drove Murph 420. I drove to the Wi-Fi on base just to say hi. There's got to be a McDonald's closer to you, right? McDonald's has free Wi-Fi. I started this new job, and it's all remote, which is it's kind of good. I mean, we're just starting the summer. Like my kid's last day of school is tomorrow, so I'm a little concerned of what life's going to be like next week when all 4 kids are at home and I'm trying to work from home. That's going to be kind of tough. And they seem pretty strict about it though, because I had asked. I figured like as long as I have internet, shouldn't be a problem. So I asked my boss, "Hey, what if I go to a McDonald's?" And he was like, "Why would you do that?" I don't think he has kids. It's my guess. He's like, "Why would you do that?" Like, because I have 4 kids at home, like summer school. Why would I? Or they're home for the summer. Like, why would I want to be there trying to work when I have 4 kids screaming and who knows what else? Not sure if they'd be okay with that. I might test it. The other thing is my cabin with Starlink have great internet up there. So like, could I do that? It's in the state. I have internet. Should be fine. We'll see. All right, Murph, congrats again, bud. Enjoy work. My base is in the woods. The signal is bad. Yeah, Nate says your favorite libertarian. Dude, you're going to love remote work. I definitely did. I tell you, it was awesome today. So I have an hour lunch. Well, I have an hour to do whatever I want. Usually I can finish lunch in like 10 minutes. So I have a home gym. I I stepped away from my computer. I went downstairs. I worked out for 20 minutes, just some body weight exercises, ate lunch, took a shower, like back to work, all within like 50 minutes. So it's super convenient. I love that aspect of it. And the people that I've met so far really nice. So I'm really looking forward to that camaraderie of being able to interact with people more often, but also being at home more is going to be good. It's been tough. Like my daughter that's in first grade this is her last week of school. So she's like, can you take me to school? Can you pick me up from school? I can't, because they seem pretty strict on the hours, at least right now. So that kind of upset her a little bit. But honestly, besides that, it's been really good so far. And he says, heck yeah, that's what I do at lunch too. Awesome, man. My son's starting to work out too. He's trying to figure out the transit system. The transit system here where I live is horrible. It's not like a big city. So he tried riding the transit one time and he just thought it was a big loop. And I'm sure there's routes that are just loops that go around, our city. Um, but he got on the bus that's close by our house and just not really paying attention to anything, like rode it all the way to the like transit station. And it was so funny because he called and he's like, can you come pick me up? Like, where are you? I don't know where I am. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to fix that. Right. Luckily we found out he was at the transit station, like a different county. He's in a different county. Never thought, this is kind of weird. We're getting on the highway. Maybe I should pay attention to where we're going. Nope. No, he didn't do that. And so I was telling him like, hey dude, there's an app. Like the app recognizes where you are. You put in your destination. And then you just follow it, like route 268. And then you get off at this spot and you get on bus 67. 076. What's going on, brother? But so Planet Fitness here in the town is doing free gym memberships for students for the summer. So him and his buddy, they played lacrosse together. They're going out there and working out. I think they're going to try to do it every day. Hopefully it's later in the day because my son will not wake up before 7 a.m. Like it is a chore to get him to school at 7:30. It's a chore. I feel bad for him sometimes. Like tomorrow's a half day. It's the last day of school. It's a half day. I'm like, you can not go if you want to. And, but I think he's going to go. Zero. How's the track star doing? She doing pretty good. So we were talking about HRT Recon. I want to get my hands on one before I'm able to speak intelligently on it. But modularity is, I think I like that, especially as someone that doesn't use a placard as a chest rig normally. So I could just have general purpose pouches. I think I'm going to dig that more than I would the Maximus, but we'll see. Zero says, just got through visiting with my cousin from Texas who I haven't seen since 89. Dude, it's a long time. That's like, you haven't seen your cousin almost as long as I've been alive. I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but that's a long time. My closest cousin geographically lives like 4 hours from me. But in the town we grew up in, California, there was, let's see, my mom had 4 siblings and like 3 of the 4 lived in the same town. So I knew my cousins growing up. Like we saw each other all the time. Croak said, Defense Mechanisms did that same thing years ago with the modular placard. They did. Some of the stuff I liked about it, I liked about it at the time. Over time, ended up not liking as much. So their placard system is built on Velcro or hook and loop, which over time of you pulling pouches off and on and replacing them, and you just kind of wear that Velcro over time. So the HRT Recon, if I remember correctly from the video, has hook and loop. You could do that if you wanted to, but it also has webbing or PALS webbing or Molly, whatever you want to call it. I kind of interject those two. Excuse me. That you could, if you know, like for me, I know that my chest rig is going to be just for hiking. I need a like 9-inch general purpose pouch that's just one big open pouch that I could store my stuff in for my hikes. And so um that's I could see me liking that more. He says they have a Molly panel. Got one here in my box of shame. I did not know that. So I understand like HRT is not reinventing the wheel here. It's kind of hard for, I feel like, for gear companies to do that. Some of the ones that have, in my opinion, successfully done that, like Agilite with their belt, the magnetic attachment points in the back. That's pretty cool. That's innovative. Never seen that before. Um, what else? What other like the Agilite pincer placard having that like ruggedized coating to flare the opening. That's interesting. What else is out there? I think who was it? Haley Strategic. Their mag pouches have been really interesting. I've liked their mag pouches. And they do something it's kind of like S-Tac. I could see, I guess if I use it a lot, it would wear the fabric down some. Walsh really liked the Tier Tactical, I think they're called Happy Mag pouches. Where the hell is Walsh? We've been at this for 45 minutes. He's not here yet. Josh says L4 Performance, and I don't know what you're referencing. What did I miss? Fill me in. L4 Performance. S-Tac is a great company, even though I don't get along with their inserts. Yeah, I'll be honest. Everything that I have from them so far has been really good. But yeah, I'm not living where you live. I would never subject myself to that. I hate humidity. Uh, I lived in Florida for a couple years near Destin, which is kind of like vacation spot for a lot of people that live down in the southeast. I would say Destin beaches are kind of known in that area. If you talk to someone that's from any of the southern states, like they probably have heard of Destin. And so when I tell people like, "Oh yeah, I was stationed there," oh wow, it must have been amazing. Like it was horrible. It was one of the worst assignments I've ever been. I would, besides being away from family, I would definitely choose Qatar over Destin. And Afghanistan, maybe. Like that's a tough one for me. Oh, look who finally decides to join
Hey,
in.
sorry, young ladies. I've been quite busy lately.
We were talking about we were
Yes.
just talking about the HRT Recon placard,
Oh,
and one of the things that I was talking about, I
we're,
like
we're
my
gonna talk, we're
Maximus.
gonna talk about the videos that we had this week. This is a new start. This is a fresh start. No, it's good.
Yeah. So I was talking about I have a Maximus placard, and I like the the gist of the Maximus placard. Like you get what you get. You get two pouches. You get two mag pouches. It works well for me. But as someone that doesn't typically use a chest rig like most people do, I like using it for hikes. The Recon placard system makes more sense for my use because I could just molly on a 9-inch general purpose pouch to just hold everything for me while I'm hiking.
Yeah,
Whereas you can't do that with the Maximus. And Croak reminded me that Defense Mechanisms had a Molly placard, which I did not know about.
they did. I had that. I've used it in some things. Like I've hooked in some other gear with it, but I didn't talk very much about the HRT one when it gets really big. So when I think of hiking, because I basically just put it in some standard configurations like a 3 and a 4.
Yeah.
But when you put it in like a 6 mag configuration, suddenly you have all this extra molly space along the outside too. So in that situation, I'll be like, yeah, you probably want that. Or if like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to go hiking. I don't know if I'm going to go do this. Don't know if I'm going to go do that. Like, okay, in that case, you're going to have time to set up for it. The recon makes sense. But it's like, hey, I'm going to deploy, like, hey, we're going to switch from CQB to like recon to whatever, like on the fly. Like, this, you're not, it's going to take you too long.
Sorry. So you sound fine. You sound okay, but your microphone sounds like maybe it's not the correct microphone selected. Okay. 076 says Jason always tries to stay on topic. We just run it off the rails.
Yeah, that's true. There
you go.
There you go. It'll go to the stupid Osmo mic.
Yeah.
Like, this is a great mic. I should use this one. Like, no, it's horrible.
So we've had a huge request to give away your multicam pants.
Which ones?
Like I don't know, a pair, but there was like 5 people that mentioned that tonight.
I have some really bad ones I probably will gladly give away. Like, I don't want these.
And what's kind of interesting, we have a good number of people that are joining us tonight. A majority of them are on X, not on YouTube.
That's surprising.
So we appreciate the support over there, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you watching on X. Again, this is the first episode of ThunderWheel TV. So we are live on the ThunderWheel TV YouTube channel. We are live on the Thinline Defense Co. X channel, the Thinline Defense Co. Rumble channel, and the Thinline Defense Co. Twitch channel. So we're running all 4 tonight.
Did you talk at all about the Israeli stuff?
Yeah, we did. We talked about that.
Pretty crazy.
Probably like half hour ago.
Yeah. So, okay, one thing I don't like, now, obviously, I want to say thanks to everybody for having some patience and understanding, and those of us on the YouTube side moving over to ThunderWheel TV. I think it takes a minute to understand the why. I heard about 2 different channels getting booted off YouTube for crazy, stupid nonsense. One of our followers, just a regular guy, told me he got his 3rd strike for just talking about he had talked to me before. He's like, what do you recommend? I was like, dude, don't show prices, don't show tools, don't show installation, don't show anything. And he's like, yep, got my 3rd. I literally just talked, literally just words. And he got a strike, and 3rd strike was removed. So you can, and like a 3rd strike, you can never make a YouTube channel. It's not in like, hey, your channel shut down. It's like, you are never allowed to make a channel on this platform ever again. So they are doing some kooky stuff. It's kind of like the same stuff we saw about a year ago.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I hate, though, is that those people who are the lifetime member, or not who are the paid members, don't have all their cool icons. I'm going to ask if there's a way to get it to show up on both. I don't know if there is, but maybe there's some weird control that I have that I can make that happen.
Yeah.
Because I saw that message from Michael Fire. I was like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, we were talking about that like right at the beginning of, we'll look into see if we can't transfer memberships over, maybe there's a way that if you're just a subscriber here, maybe there's things that we can unlock for you to have here. So we'll look into that. Croak said General Staff and Poobah hits confirmed in Iran, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard. I was kind of hearing about some of it. Like I said to Jason, like right as it was going on, like, do you see this? And like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Zach, also, I gave you a moderator rights. I'm trying to fix some of that too as we're talking.
Joshua says, I forgot the name of the product, but L4 Performance made basically a huge admin GP and 3 mag pocket.
I've always wondered, it's that company you never really worked closely with. I'm going to feel so bad because I don't remember the name of them now. Attack Pack. Good. I remember them. They seemed like they were the company that seemed like the most bleeding edge at the time, like blending hiking and tactical.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like that was like legit survival gear where some stuff's like, oh, that's hiking, oh, that's tactical or military, that's not going to work. But theirs was like, oh no, this was both. Like, you want to carry 40 pounds of water on your back? Like, here, you just use our little sled thing. Oh, and use this bag. Like, oh, dude, that's pretty smart. Like,
well, the thing that I loved about them, and I wish I probably just need to end up like buying it, is how their battle belt, you can buy that attachment that would go in the back so that the part of the frame would sit of the backpack would slip onto your belt, which is what you want for a hiking pack. You want that weight on your hips. You don't want it on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And I just thought, man, what an awesome way to maintain your battle belt and your readiness while still being able to carry a ruck. Just really smart way of doing it.
Yeah, it was always, and just think, Jason, that was, they had that, like, think of it compared to the stuff that's out now. That was 3 years ago.
And they probably had it before then.
Yeah,
We saw it 3 years ago.
We saw it 3 years, and we're like, this is crazy. And they're like, yeah, we're just a little mom and pop shop. Like, this is nuts. So yeah.
Croak says, I'd say cancel the YouTube sub on TLD and move it over here instead, since all the cool stuff only matters on the lives, really.
I hate to say like that I know who you like. I hate to say, but probably. That's why I wish I could find a way to switch it over for you before you guys don't do it. I don't want you to have to start over, but it also does make it even playing field, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's the real ThunderWheel TV masters? And it's interesting too is, I wasn't here when you guys made this, but when Jason was telling me the new names, like sounded like you guys were putting it together, and like the viewers were kind of putting it, organizing it. I know who you guys are on the TLD side, and it's not like I only respond to members anyway. So like,
yeah.
Croak just yelled
I was going to say, you might want to watch the intro of this again.
Yeah, is it bad?
No, it wasn't bad. So I'm sorry. After I ran like the intro that I made, which you've seen the intro that I made. I had a little spiel where I was like, "Welcome to ThunderWheel TV, the only YouTube live chat where thinking is encouraged, and knee jerk comments get ridiculed or something like that." Yeah. Like that was a hat tilt to Walsh, by the way.
Dude, speaking of, I'm gonna show you what J Murph won, by the way. But we have had some great comments. I don't know, you and I. So Jason and I has been just as busy as I've been lately, and we got to reconnect too. But over time, usually we see the YouTube comments and we'll text each other and we'll see.
Oh yeah,
and be like, bro, did you write this? And like, you can tell, like, just over text message, that person's just dying laughing. There's been quite a few that have just been absolutely crazy. But not only that, I have seen an influx of ads.
Oh, really?
In a very organic, well, it's not organic because it doesn't make any sense. Somebody was like it made no sense. They're like, this Sworden headset is very garbage. You should get the Pro Ear 320. And I'm like, what's the Pro Ear 320? And it's like some straight Amazon special for $30. I'm like, bro, this is an ad. Like, your comment is an ad. Like, you're just you're just like trying to get a grassroots thing going. I don't know. I've seen it a bunch of times recently of just shady nonsense. Anyway, let me get out all the stuff that J Murph won. So, big thanks to our ThunderWheel giveaway and all their members. We're gonna do. Obviously, we'll do more because we have more stuff. So he won this whole kit of dive free co stuff. So Kung Fu grip, the Tiger Claw,
Kung Fu,
the Kung Fu, yeah, the full stop.
He's not even here.
I know he's fine. He doesn't have anything else going on in his life. He's probably listening right now.
I messaged him on Discord. He had to drive to a place on base to get Wi-Fi so he could come onto the live chat and say, "Okay, I'm here."
Okay, I'm here. Did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Hey, I'm here. And then he got an HRT, and I'm also going to give him. He's going to get his pick from the pile, which I didn't even show you guys what the pile was because it's been amassing since then.
It's been amassing.
Yeah.
AD bots.
And we can put some of these in.
What's AD? AD bot. Ad bots. Is it ad bots?
I don't know. They're just like people. It's like the new thing where I think they're trying to advertise within the comments of a video, or they're trying to like let's say you work for Trigicon and it's saying good things about Holosun. Like, your job would be to go in every Holosun video and say something bad about it, say something good about Trigicon. And I'm seeing that. It's very obvious. Like, they're super bad at it. So
right.
Very funny. It's like they gave it to AI and it was like, oh, the AI can do this. And it's like, oh, it's real bad at it.
Oh, advert bots. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's what I got. Hey, speaking of, what did you ever think about? Because I have these still. What did you think about your O sights?
Oh, I love it. I love the XS, the small one,
the little one. Yeah,
the little one. I really like it.
Yeah. So I still have these, so he can choose between these, and then I have some. Big thanks to Oakley SI.
Oh, nice.
They've been sending some scun glasses, so he can also pick between these.
I was just talking about how I have a pair of Oakley gas cans,
Yeah.
and I had custom prescription lenses made for them. And I was at Subway and I had them on top of my head while I was eating. I stood up and they hit the freaking lampshade and like scratched right over my. I was so pissed, like right over my right eye.
Get me out of the big screen.
You were showing off. You were showing the stuff.
Yeah, so we'll see what he picks out, but I'll send him all his goodies. And the good news is, there's more. I mean, you
could probably send him everything.
Yeah. Well, I want to do more stuff. So like, I would love like a whole ThunderWheel battle, like the battle for the Siley Wolf, like, and it's like hashtag you don't want it. It's like, how good is it? Like, no, it's not.
I took mine off of my bull, the one that you sent me.
Well, why? Why would you do that?
Horrible. So bad. I would rather put my O sight, the original O sight, on my bull than the Siley.
I don't know if you saw that video when Croak came to visit. It was such a good time. But like, when he comes, he had never seen any of those optics before, right? He had never, like, it was his first time seeing them, and it was funny that so many of our ratings were like, we didn't talk before that. We didn't plan anything else out. We had actually been like dealing with all the gun con stuff and doing so many other things. And then all of a sudden we just sat down and did this and was like, well, what are your thoughts? And we would blindly write it, and we're both just like, I don't know what it was, but I was like, F, like garbage. But then you go on YouTube and you see these people and like guys, these Sileys are pretty good optics. They're pretty good. No, they're making some fat commission like they do off Axel headsets. And that's the only reason they're saying that. Like, well, I make a 30% commission off these, so they're pretty good.
Axel headsets? I'm not following. I don't understand. What's wrong with Axel heads?
They're so good. They're such a good headset. I did hear, dude, apparently you and I did not like the O-Sight X. Apparently this is getting a big cult following in the competition space.
Interesting.
I don't agree. I don't think it even comes close.
Well, how can you compete with the Seymour?
No, the 507 comp. No, we don't on the Seymour. But I did hear also from other people that the small O-Sight, I wanted to mount it up just to test this. They said that they would just stop working after like 30 or 40 rounds.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've shot mine that much.
Well, let me know.
Check that out.
Yeah, and let me know in the comments, guys. But I heard that. But whatever J Murph picks, we'll just be like, okay, next ThunderWheel, you get the
wolf.
We should do a runner-up one where like the winner gets the wolf, and then the runner-up gets to pick something. So like you want to lose, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna mess with the wheel. Like
I played in a Spades championship when I was on my way back from Afghanistan in Qatar, and the winner won. The winning team won a Spider-Man 2 DVD, and the runner-up was a $25 gift card to the BX.
Oh, I want that $25.
Like, so I won, and they were going to give me the Spider-Man DVD, and I was like, "Can I have the gift card instead?" So they gave us the gift card. Like that's definitely a first place prize.
Yeah, that's definitely. You can buy whatever
for
you
years.
want.
I would say I was an international Spades champion.
Technically, yeah, you were undefeated internationally, not stateside.
Yeah. So Michael Farley said, "Did we already give away the multicam pants? Had to hop off the live for about 10 minutes."
I'm gonna find the worst pair I have. You know what I really hate in terms of multicam pants? The most disappointed I've ever been, and I know Zach Fett is going to agree with me, and I think him and I were both. I think we both got them, and we were excited about them. Those UF Pros.
Oh, really?
Hot garbage, dude. Like they are faded. Remember how like our old crappy pants wore?
Yeah.
Like they would fade after like a year, and they're basically be like snow camo, and you'd be like, you can't wear your snow camo to work anymore. Mine are snow camo, and they're like $300 pants. Yeah, $300 pants that are snow camo.
Croak says, "Does anybody not in the military or in jail actually play spades?" No. Zach Fett, hot garbage.
Yeah, so he's gonna say like he's probably the same as mine. Like I don't even wear mine that much.
Do not buy UF Pro. I tell you which ones. So pros and cons. Ones that surprised me the most: the LA Police Gear branded multicam pants,
Okay, hold on. I saw
but
somebody. Okay, you finish that
they're
thing.
hot. They're not like you don't want to wear them if it's hot outside. They don't breathe very well.
I saw a guy who I thought of you guys. He was wearing, I think it was on Reddit or something. He was like, "Don't get the LA Police Gear jeans,"
Oh,
and,
really?
and it was like, dude, it was like 8 pairs with the butt ripped, like,
What?
and there was all these like SpongeBob, I ripped my pants memes, like, like it was just like the whole thing. But I was like, I've heard nothing. I
Dude,
haven't heard anything bad.
I've literally thrown away all of my jeans and only have LA Police Gear jeans now.
When was the last time you bought them?
Oh, it's been a couple years.
Okay, and I think that's what they were saying. Like, hey, there's been a recent like change in how it was made because they're like, I swore by these, and then this dude had like 8 pairs that were just destroyed. I was like, what? But of course, it was funny though because he ripped his pants.
All because I ripped
I ripped my
my
pants.
pants.
Hey, I know Jason and I haven't had a chance to catch up, but did you get to watch some of the T-Rex Arm saga?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
I need
my
to.
God.
I need to follow
You
up on it.
really- It's totally the Lucas. I don't know if it's the redemption arc, but it reminds me so much of like your little brother, right? Like, God, I like we all hate our little brother, and we don't do anything besides pick on our little brother. And if he pees his pants, you'll laugh at him every day and call him piss pants, right? And you would do it every day until he's 80. But right now, somebody else is being mean to our little brother. And like that's how I feel like it is from the entire firearms community, where everybody's like, nah, dude. Like this is like as much as we don't like that guy, we dislike you more.
Yeah. It's almost like having non-military people make fun of like
The
Air
Coast
Force,
Guard.
Marines will tease Coast Guards and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then someone is like, I heard the Coast Guard sucks. And you're like, you shut your pie hole. You're not allowed to say that.
You're not like, what are you in? Like, I work at Subway. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh
Okay.
says, I still can't believe his brother swindled him for 51%.
So that's the part you'll need to go and watch his video. So basically what happened is he was young and just wasn't aware of how businesses work and shares of businesses work and how magical the difference is between 49 and 51. And his brother came on to help him at a young age. This was probably way before they were big, 2019. And it was kind of like, I'll come help you, and gets 51% of the business. Then a third brother comes on and takes another large share of his portion instead of like the 51% of the other brother. It just, dude, somebody sent peen pics to his wife, and then like, oh, dude, it is bad. Like, and nobody wants to talk about what happened. In like, I guess one of the guys went on Focus Trip today and was like, you shouldn't talk about this. The kind of thing that Lucas brought up, nobody should have said. And I was like, no, I disagree completely. Like, that is 100%. You say exactly what happened, and then you let the people decide if that's a company they want to stand behind, and everyone is saying no.
Good.
So
that. Yeah, I started watching his like his video that he put out. That was his first, public addressing of it since the fallout. And I got maybe like 3 or 4 minutes before I got distracted with something else. But then I saw another post that he had made on X, and he was talking about the outpouring of support that he's gotten, the thousands upon thousands of people that have applied for jobs and have been willing to come out and help him. And
like it's to the point where like I was motivated to make TLD because of Lucas, right? I grew up watching him even as an old man. Like, I want to do something cool like that.
Yeah.
But then even me, I make fun of him. But at the same time, if it was one of those like, hey, if I could do something to help you rebuild and give the middle finger to those other guys, I'm in. Even though I'm not the biggest fan, but I would rather swallow that pride and give the middle finger to those guys who are rude to you and help you out, right? So
yeah,
I don't know, he's just done as much as damage he's done. He's also done some for the community.
He'll land on his feet.
Yeah.
We addressed that in our T-Rex Arms AC1 video. Like, T-Rex Arms has done a ton for the Second Amendment. Lucas himself has done a lot with the Tennessee, like the legislative body, and going and pushing for pro two-way bills to be passed. So generally speaking, as a Second Amendment supporter, Lucas is he's done a lot more than a lot of us have.
Well, and let's be honest, that the marketing of T-Rex arms is Lucas.
Yeah.
So when you if you invest $10 billion, I'm not saying that's the number, it's a made up number, but you invest $10 billion into a personality and that personality leaves, well, you just lost that value because like you said, and me and my wife kind of said the same thing. We watched that, like, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine
because he can speak in an articulate way. He can shoot well. He's probably more business savvy than he ever was. So I'm not
now, especially now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen to Lucas? He's gonna be fine. But if I can help put the cherry on to make somebody else in his family super mad, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way we operate, though.
Croak says Isaac Botkin, the non-stealing brother, seems to be doing good work in DC for 2A stuff. Yeah.
I guess I don't even know who the other two. I don't know enough about it. Yeah.
076. I don't watch Focus anymore. I hate drama, and that's all he does now.
Listen. Then rarely do we get to say, because we're usually on TLD, we're on ThunderWheel TVs. We can say whatever we want. My only issue with Focus Trip, I don't know him as a person, right? I don't know him as a person. I don't want to judge him on it, say anything. But there was like a 6-month tirade where he was basically saying, these people are shills and those people are shills, and just flinging poop everywhere. And he's flinging poop everywhere. And then I'm watching him and I'm like, bro, you are wearing Axle headsets, which is the most shilly thing possible. So I'm like watching him with my mouth on the floor of like, I'm not going to work with them because it's just about the money. And there you are telling people, like, calling out who's who and standing there like emperor with no clothes on. I was like, dude, the whole thing was just so baffling. And I kind of had to take a step aside and like, dude, I'm going to let him do his thing. Yeah. But it makes no sense. And I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I don't want to be part of what they're doing. Yep, and it just seems like, it's just like, how much drama can we stir up? But like, for the sake of drama.
This is Michael Farley says, we may make fun of him for the skinny jeans, but getting screwed over isn't cool. Plus, he's standing his ground and not allowing his wife to be disrespected like that. I can support him for that. I love that he leaned into the skinny leg, skinny jean thing when he was like, he's doing this thing from his gym. He's like, I'll have time to start working out and maybe I'll start doing leg lifts and things like that. It's like, okay, come on, that's funny.
I saw this on Reddit. What if his redemption arc was T-Rex legs? And it's just a dinosaur in skinny jeans. I would die.
He probably couldn't do that because it'd be too close.
Too similar. Yeah.
Too similar, but something equally ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ankylosaurus legs.
Something. Yeah. I'm sure Croak right now is in Chat GPT like, I got to go for you guys. He'll spit it out in a minute. I'm sure of it.
He probably wasn't. Now he's like, crap. Now I got to go do that.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even think I went back to what I was saying earlier about why we switched the channel. Oh, so we had to change everything because we have our intro where we don't shoot a machine gun in the intro, and YouTube basically was flagging it, and they're tearing down other people's channels just for talking about some stuff or even showing firearms that are completely legal. You can own them if you go through the process. So we had to move everything because it just becomes a liability of like, oh, you showed the wrong thing on a live. Sorry, your whole channel's gone. And they're literally trying to find reasons. I think though, I want to warn some new content creators. I think they made new rules post a certain day because some people seem to be getting in trouble for things that I don't get in trouble for. Where like I'm grandfathered in, and same with some of the bigger channels, like the big kids are grandfathered in. It's almost like they're saying the number of channels that exist now are okay, but eventually when they fall off, there's going to be no one behind them. Yeah. And I think we're seeing that. There's no younger channels that are slowly like working their way up.
There's one guy that won the mountains and mullets guy.
Dude, that guy is the man.
I love that guy, man.
Yeah.
Like we met him at SHOT Show. He was awesome.
He's
got a huge, we met him.
When?
He was at SHOT Show.
Like we were saying hi to him and talking to him?
Yeah, it was at one of the table when we took a break up in the media room. He was at the same table as us.
Like we was at our table, or we were talking to him. Like we were saying, "Hey, we're selling."
Yeah, he was at our table, and we were talking to him. That's
Oh,
where we found out about his. I found out about his channel, and
I feel super dumb. Maybe that's why I've been following him. I'm like, why am I? Now it
yeah,
makes me
because
feel worse. I'm like, why am I following? But he has all
we
the
found
cool
his channel, and we were like, what had happened was he had won the Gundies for up and coming creator or something like that.
Yeah.
And we had followed that. We saw him. We're like, hey, congratulations on that. What's your channel name? And we were like, you got 2 new subscribers.
That's funny. Yeah, because
I like him.
Dude, he's got all kinds of craziness. Like I'll be like, oh, I want to know about this laser rain, whatever, random. And there he is shooting it like 1,000 yards. Like, it's okay. Like, here's the negatives, here's the positive, and like super good, super articulate, super good. I agree. I'm just saying, I think the barrier to entry is so much higher than it used to be. But like even he's getting away with anything he wants to do. He's talking about, like, he's comparing guns. He talks prices, which I've stopped saying prices.
Yeah.
That was another big one where they kept flagging me. Anytime I said the word dollar, they would basically key in on that moment of the video, and I would have to cut it out. And I have to like keep re-uploading. And then I'd be like, okay, you can't say dollar. I'd not say dollar, or I'd change it, like I'd over to a different word. And then all of a sudden it's fine. I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're being that picky, to the point where I had to go. I don't know if I should share this because they're going to figure this out.
Probably not.
So I go into Google Ads, like you're going to make an ad, right? And you can type in what keywords in the ad site. If you're on a paid advertiser, they mark what keywords are and aren't allowed. So you can actually put all the words you're going to use into this thing, and it'll show you what it's going to flag.
Interesting.
So you can just be like, oh, I was going to put in AR-10. Like, nope. I was going to put in optics. Nope. I'm going to put in optic. Yes. Like, oh my God.
Interesting.
Oh, it's super weird. And like, oh, 2A, no. Pistol, yes. EDC, no. And it's like, it's just kind of like all over the place.
Weird.
Yeah. So, but then that's the thing. Like when you upload it, you're like, why did it automatically got flagged? I made a video about lawn mowing. Like, oh, you used this word. Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, super big crackdown. So apologies on the move, but if you change your membership over to ThunderWheel TV, I won't hate you.
Yeah. So a couple things we're a little bit into the 2A news. A couple things. One that two things actually that Croak brought up. One was the Short Act, I think is what it's called.
You gotta bring up to speed. I saw a bunch of stuff on it, and I've not been following. I've been gone.
So from what I gathered, it's passed the House. Croak will correct me on that. It passed the House, hasn't passed the Senate yet. And then the Hearing Protection Act seems like it passed a hurdle. Croak had mentioned earlier in the chat the Bird Step or the Bird Act or something like that. Basically saying like, because he wrote it up earlier. Hold on, I gotta.
Oh. Well, Jason's looking that up. You guys can know what I told him behind the scenes is that it would be awesome if Jason gave us periodic video post updates about some of this stuff so that we could all be tracking.
Yes. So
if he doesn't, you guys can say, hey, where's Jason's video on the news update?
Let's see here. Bird Act. It's one way to get something thrown out of reconciliation. If it's not related to taxes or budget, Hearing Protection Act cleared that bar.
So is it so the Hearing Protection Act is I guess I just don't know enough about it. So it's no longer part of the big beautiful bill? Because
I don't know about that now.
Because I know the bill itself, there's all the support fell apart. So people are like, oh, it's in this huge bill that's going to pass. Now all of a sudden, like, who knows if it's going to pass?
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. So, you said there's 2 pieces of 2A news.
Oh, not good news. California passed a bill requiring a permit to purchase firearm barrels. You need a permit to purchase firearm barrels. I will tell you,
I bet
if you live in those states,
I bet you have Criterion still just send it to your ass. He's like, you're not going to care.
Yeah, there is a barrel company that we really, really support and we love, who will ship it to you
and not care.
and doesn't care one lick.
Because
When I asked him, he was like, I don't know if I should say the name,
no,
but he
probably
was
not.
like,
Yeah.
I go golfing with the sheriff. Like, what are they going to do? Arrest me? Like, I'm in Wisconsin or Indiana or somewhere over there. I forgot what state he's in. He's like, I was telling him, like, I'd love to get a 1022 barrel that's threaded, but I can't buy it in my state. And he was like, I'll send it to you.
Well, I mean, you think about it too, like,
Okay.
okay, what is that? The person who would get in trouble would be you, right? It wouldn't be
Yeah.
him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's when it's like, okay, well, the burden is on you, not necessarily
Yeah.
the person sending it to you.
Croak says it is part of the big beautiful bill. It passed the bird test, and there are several senators pushing for the short act with the same language as the Hearing Protection Act. But big beautiful bill still in limbo overall, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so that's why it's one of those, like, we may have gotten to this big hurdle, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, we may go directly back to the drawing board. Like, oh,
Yeah, to me, there's no reason why these things can't be individual bills. Hearing Protection Act, its own thing. The Short Act, its own thing. Hell, I believe the Constitution talks about how Congress is supposed to create a budget, like get a budget passed. Like, we don't need all this work. Just individual bills. Come on. It's not that
yeah,
hard.
I think it's one of those, like, nobody would spend the time to make it where now there's so much more meat in the bone where here's a must bill pass anyway, throw it in there.
Right.
And it's got to, you have to approve a budget. That's the weird, that's the part that doesn't make sense. We have to have these continuing resolutions. So now they're just going to add all the bills to it that they want to get passed, because that's less legwork than just making the bill. Because you got to do something.
Says it's never going to pass if it's not in reconciliation. You're right. I think the frustrating thing for me, and what's kind of kept me away from following the news cycle on that in general, is because the hypocrisy that you see on both sides, right? In one instance, you had people on the right that were lambasting and complaining about the people on the left and how they had these huge bills and they weren't. I remember Nancy Pelosi saying, well, we have to pass the bill in order to know what's in the bill. Like, no, you shouldn't have to do that. That's ridiculous, right? And so the right was complaining about that. Well, now the right is pushing a bill that's just like that, and you hear the left complaining about these big bills.
Well, even like what that Detroit Lions linebacker, that Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was even like, well, I wouldn't have passed this if I would have known what was in it. Like,
Detroit Lions linebacker.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, they're mad she's not on the starting line. Like, they are mad because she would be bringing them back to the playoffs.
So that reminds, Mike Farley says there's a national concealed carry reciprocity bill that needs to be fixed because the current one has language in it that's all effed up. I want to say Pennsylvania, maybe not. There's a 30th state that just passed constitutional carry. So we're up to 30 states now.
It's not, so I'll be honest, the reciprocity always confused me, but the bigger confusion was who is the must notify and who's the duty to notify and who's not, because that can get you hemmed up, right? When you're like if you drive through New Jersey, like if I drive through here, I'm like, hey, here's my stuff, here's my card, by the way, I'm carrying, or by the way, hey, I'm not carrying, whatever,
right.
Whatever I'm doing, right? And they're like, oh, cool, whatever, thanks, so and so, like, oh, you're fine, yada yada. But if you do that in New Jersey, oh no. Like, you're like, hey, I'm so and so, I'm traveling from so and so, here's my cards, here's all my stuff that authorizes me to have everything that I have. By the way, I'm carrying. You can get out, sir. You can get out with put your hands up. Like, oh man, you're gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, it is pretty bad. Croak says the biggest problem with the big beautiful bill is that too many Republicans are letting perfect be the enemy of the good. And my point is, why are we settling for the good when it's not difficult to get to the perfect? It shouldn't be difficult to get to the perfect when we have individual small bills.
Isn't that Croak's argument though? Like, with what he's saying, like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading it wrong. I'm thinking he's saying, like, why make it perfect when you can just be good?
Maybe.
I don't know. See, Croak, we're not that smart. Here's my argument, right? Here's where I get a little bit butthurt. I think of the right, the Republicans, as kind of the stewards of two-way rights, right? Like, there's a lot more firearms on the right. I think that community, most of the firearms community, is far more right-leaning. So me, as somebody who's kind of seeing everything going on, like, okay, okay, you have control of the House and the Senate and the presidency and the Supreme Court, right? So time to put your money where your mouth is, right? So I'm expecting to see all the injustices that they cried about a year ago
Yeah.
get rectified. Where is, dude, old boy in jail still for the key card? Why?
There's some frustrating things that are happening. Like, okay, one example, whether you agree with it or not, I don't care if you agree with this or not. There was a January 6th person who was pardoned by Trump. Trump pardoned him, right? Your crimes are forgiven.
Well,
Who
you're
ended up
guilty.
being
You're guilty with no punishment.
right, but he ended up from the date of the pardon being signed was in jail for like 6 more months. They kept him in there. Right. So I look at that like I don't care whether he should have been pardoned or not. Like that's not my argument. The argument is the law says this person's pardoned, right?
Yeah.
He is no longer to be punished, and he is kept from his family for 6 more months.
Yeah, like,
I think it was more than that.
He's like, under what authority? Like, how? You know what I mean? Like,
and so then you have other things where, like, dude, the fact that the Supreme Court, I feel like, screwed us on a couple things recently, Second Amendment wise, is like very frustrating. Again, I think Clarence Thomas hit the nail on the head when he was talking about this idea that the Second Amendment seems to be the only right, and I'm using that in air quotes, where you regularly have to fight for it. Like it shouldn't be that way.
Dude, you want to people really mad? I don't think it's left and right at all. And like the thing that most people never want you to hear, and that the reason why class warfare is never taught. Like I'm not a conspiracy guy. I am not a tinfoil hat guy. I am not. I will laugh at conspiracies. But if you told me it's the rich versus the poor, not even the rich, like I think of like, oh, a guy with $100 million, like, he's not out to like make sure that the poor stay poor. There is way more of like the people who were born into a certain class, and their kids are going to be born into a certain class, and their kids' kids are going to be born in that class, and your kids' kids are going to be born in the same class you're in now. There is an incentive to make sure that stays intact. And I think more and more people are seeing that. But like I care far less about the right and left, because exactly what we're talking about. Nothing changed. These so-called two-way stewards on this one side, nothing changed. If anything, it went the exact same way as if they weren't in charge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so it doesn't matter. You guys are telling me it doesn't matter, and there's something else going on completely.
Zach Fett says ACB sure turned out to be a two-way trader. That's Amy Coney Barrett or Coney Barrett.
That's not as good as like MTG, the Detroit Lions linebacker. I love that. Like, make MTG mean Magic the Gathering again. I want that. Sure.
Joshua says they should pardon CRS Firearms, dude. Poor dude.
So even talking about Jay, like they actually made this excuse like in January, it was like, oh hey, we're just not getting in office. We're just now getting We're just not getting things moving. In February, it's like, people are just getting in position. We're making a lot of changes. Yeah. March, it's something else. April, something else. May, it's something else. June, it sounds like he's not. He's lost the case to get out early. So it's like going backwards. Like, what? Convince me that it's not this. Like exactly said, it convinced me it's not two the exact same birds.
Two wings, same bird.
Yeah, 2 wings, same bird. Oh, wow, we should.
There's so not to roll into video game theory, but one of my favorite video games of all time is Xenogears, and there's this really cool. What's that?
Which you've been playing relentlessly.
Yeah, we should be playing Xenogears. Yeah. Awesome storyline in my opinion. My favorite JRPG of all time. But there's a scene in the game where you're in this church. It's very religious, like dark religious focus. You're in this church, and at the head of the church is two statues of like angels, but each angel only has one wing. The idea is you need both of them to fly, right? You have two individuals, but you're working together for the greater good. And in this instance, I like what 076 is saying. It's not two people with one wing each. It is the same bird, and we're just seeing two different wings, but they go. The outcome is the same. Like nothing is changing.
Yeah.
And so it's
not
very
only that,
frustrating for me.
but it's also like light and dark, right? It's like
Yeah.
good and evil, but like good and evil is a matter of perspective. So like all the people who are evil think they're the good guys, and all the people
Yeah.
who are, vice versa, right? Like, well, we're the good guys because we're killing all the bad guys. Like that's the same reason they think they're the good guys, right?
I think this was years ago, man, probably like 10 years ago now. I remember listening to a local talk radio guy, and he was filling in for someone, and he had said, he's like, by the end of my hour show, I hope I can make the case of why local politics matter.
Mm,
And his point is nothing that you do will affect change in Washington, in DC,
we've talked
right?
about this a little bit,
Your,
yeah.
your vote's not going to matter. But does your vote matter in the school board or city council? Like, there's been tons of the TLD guys know this, like tons of drama with my kids' high school
It's
and
amazing.
what
I
I
wish you
have
wrote a
done.
book. Like I wish you wrote a book about it. It's so good.
Yeah,
Like, it's called
like
like How to Be Petty. Like if you wrote that, like How to Be Petty, that's all it was called. I was like, this is the best book of my life.
so. There's a lot of change that I can affect at my kids' school by being the squeaky wheel, right? Being a squeaky wheel has no bearing on what happens in DC.
Yeah.
And so my hope is I personally think Washington is the state is a lost cause. Like I would love to move somewhere else. That can't happen right now. But I also feel like DC is a lost cause. Like why are we looking to Washington DC to bring about hope and change for those of us in some of these states that don't care anyways?
No, and you bring up a good point too. And I think it's just something. It's so funny. We just started talking political all of a sudden, but like or more metaphysical. We're all looking for this high tier somewhere else to make the change in our local community, right? So like you and I are both kind of saying like, hey, we're seeing all this change happen, but nothing is changing in my community. Nothing is changing for me. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
100%. It's none of that stuff is going to affect you. It's going to affect some very important class people that are at the top that are there for a reason. But if you want to affect your community, like you're like, I want my life in my local area to be better, then you have to impact your life in your local area. Impacting it like, well, in DC, they're going to change the way we do things here in Podunk, Wyoming. Like, no, they're not.
Michael
Like-
Farley says, make the change in your own garage. Drill that third hole.
Be the change.
Be the change. He says the left uses guns. This is Michael Farley. The left uses guns to get votes by saying they'll get rid of them. The right uses guns to get votes by saying they'll protect them. The difference is the left actually tries to get rid of them. That's true. The right doesn't seem to protect them.
I will say far left tries to get rid of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
far left. And I don't think it's popular. Even amongst, like, I have some friends that are liberal. I grew up with all kinds of different people, so I have friends on different sides. And I think there's some far left that are like, yeah, we want to get rid of all this. And I think that's what gets the headlines where it's like, oh, they all want this. Where, even on the right side, it's like, oh, they want to burn all the books. Like, no, that's a couple idiots, right? Like, don't let the vocal minority taint you on what's actually going on. But you're right. But then they make the laws. But a bunch of the guys that I know that are liberals are like, we want guns. Yeah. How do we get guns? How do we or we have them because that's how we also protect our way of life.
I think that's them not understanding about the people that they're voting into power. And I'll share anecdotally an example from my own life where there's a liberal friend of mine who is here in Washington State. And it got to the point where he was like, hey, can I borrow your Ruger 1022 so I can teach my daughter how to shoot? And I was like, absolutely, we can. Here's the process. We got to go to the gun store. You got to pay a $25 transfer. I transfer the gun to you. You got to do a background check. And then you can go and do it. And then when you're done, you bring it back, $25 transfer, you transfer it back to me. And he was like, what? Why can't I just borrow? I'm like, well, no. The Democrats passed a law here. That's illegal. I can't just hand you a gun. You haven't been through a background check. You haven't been through this safety class.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And I think the right. So,
and he was like dumbfounded that was a law that was passed because in his mind that's not common sense.
Right, and the piece I've seen from some folks is like, Some people believe in gay marriage and some don't, right? So, but they've chosen this lifestyle where they have their partner, right? Well, now they have to choose between, very much in that political realm. Am I going to choose to, care for the person I care for, or am I going to choose to have my gun rights? Because you only get to have one or the other. Because one side's going to say, well, you don't get your gun rights, and the other side's going to say, well, you don't get to care, you don't get to love that person.
Yeah.
So, that's another weird one of like, well, that's some ass. So, yeah. Anyway, we've gone down welcome to ThunderWheel TV, where we talked about guns all night.
Yeah, 076 says, not enough people understand about the people they vote for or care enough to vote out the horrible ones. It's true.
Yeah.
When you think about, let's look at the congressional approval rating is like less than 15%, right? But everyone's like, no, it's not my congressperson. My congressperson is great. It's all the other congresspeople. And that's why the same people keep getting voted in.
And then he's like, well, when's the last time your congressman voted? Like, my congressman voted 40 times out of 100.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Welcome. You're the problem. Like, congratulations. Your dude's the problem. Yeah.
So we're out of time. Let's go through what videos you have coming up. There's one that you had talked about that I'm really interested in.
Which one?
The one about ambi lowers.
So you looked at the YouTube. You can't see that yet. That's later.
I know it's not out yet, but I'm curious. I'm very curious about this.
I was talking to Dan. So you guys are going to see this later. There's a video coming, not this weekend, next weekend. I was talking to Dan about it. So I've actually had a chance to catch up. So I'm not going to be drowning anymore. I'm going to actually do some competition shooting soon. But I told him, I was like, hey, my motivation for this thumbnail was make every person on the planet mad. So it's gonna be good. But this weekend is Protection Group Denmark, Arch. I don't know how that's said. I probably said it wrong the whole video. I don't care. The Gen 3 helmet. It's an interesting one because so many people requested it after seeing like a $2,000 OpsCore helmet. They're basically like, well, how does the $600 ballistic helmet do? And it's got some good. It's got some bad. It's exactly what I would expect. If you order a PSA upper and you got to do some work on it, that's what I would expect.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, if me and you got a PSA upper and we had to go like tighten, if I told you like, dude, I had to tighten the gas tube, like, oh, sweet, dude, sweet. So it was great. Like, oh yeah, like, oh, the gas block was loose or out of alignment. Like, oh, cool, that was it. Like, yeah, that was it. Like 10-minute fix, easy. But you get somebody else and be like, yeah, the gas block I had to send it back because the gas block was loose. We would make fun of that person.
Yeah.
Like that's
happily make fun of that person.
Yeah, like that's not a thing.
Awesome.
I thought I had something else.
There is another video, but I'm not going to mention what it is. It kind of goes back to we talk about how every YouTube channel is known for something. And we are known as the Battle Belt channel.
Yeah. No, that's not that video's not coming out yet.
I know that's why I'm not saying anything, but it's funny because there's other, like we've joked that your favorite libertarian, like look at his channel and like, I like his videos, but his shotgun videos get tons of views.
Like
we joke like, oh, he's the shotgun review channel. Yeah. That's what he does. So yeah, it's funny to see like the dude, the Mountains and Mullets guy, like he's the long distance channel.
Yeah, he is. It's like, oh, because anybody else, like, let's compare 6.5 Grendel and 5.56. No one cares. No human being cares. I looked at his and I was like 70,000 views. And I was like, I watched it.
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm in. So yeah, bunch of cool stuff coming up. As always, guys, though, the best way to get a hold of us is on Discord. I'm doing my best to catch up on everything. I think I finally am. Jason's spilling the beans on everything that I've been working on behind the scenes. I have had my nephew helping to edit, so I've been teaching him, and I've been really kind of ramping up. So
nice.
Find us on Discord. We'll do some games. We're going to try and do more lives on the TLD side when we actually go to events. So if Jason and I can go out to SHOT Show or add an actual thing where we're legitimately live somewhere, we're going to do more of that on the actual TLD side. So your memberships won't be worth nothing, but if you flip them over, let me know in the Discord what you guys want to do. I can start making some newer icons too on the ThunderWheel side. So you guys let me know.
Awesome. Guys, we appreciate you being here. We will be here every Thursday night. Again, ThunderWheel TV episode 1 in the books. We'll catch you guys. Oh,
not before you do that. I need you guys to nag Jason to do news updates, story updates, do all these videos. Because we need them.
We
Because you
do.
know why? Because we hate that other guy. I don't even want to say his name. What is his stupid name?
Arm Scholar.
Yeah, hate him. Like he's like hated around the world, but he's the only one. And you don't have to even have to go into that like level of legality. Just like,
Right.
hey, here's what's going on, and not make it clickbait and don't make it annoying, but the same thing. And like, oh, good. I don't want to punch this guy in the face. Like, fantastic. Okay.
Nice.
Okay. I'll just close it now.
All right, everyone. We will see you next Thursday. Adios.